Check 1 2, check 1 2. Miami on the rocks. Casey Chops. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at MIA on the rocks. Follow us on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Today's guest got the homie Brianna in here. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You good? I don't want the mic covering your face though. Let's just put it underneath.
Perfect.
Yo, so I wanted to have you on. You're a career woman. You know, you get to the money. You're a hustler, and we had a little exchange on Instagram.
Yeah.
About, I forgot what you posted, but you posted.
I posted that your spouse is the most important business partner that you could have.
Yes. No. You're changing it because I posted it and it said your wife. It was like men. My father told me that your wife is the most important business partner that you can have.
And vice versa.
And then you posted the same thing, and then you did, you know, your woman empowerment and vice versa, you know. And then I had to reply. I was like, I think that's false. In my opinion, you know, and you were like, why do you think that is? And then I'm like, damn, here we go. And then I got to like type in a whole paragraph and shit. But yeah, I wanted to have you on. I'm like, yo, we need to just discuss this in person. But Brianna, for the people that don't know, you know, you're from Miami, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay, born and raised in Miami, and you're an insurance broker, correct?
Yeah, well, kind of. Insurance, a broker would mean that I'm not captive. I'm a captive agent to your healthcare.
Okay.
Are you which was recently bought by healthcare?
Got you. So you're very like, what's your exact like position is like?
I'm called the satellite sales leader or satellite division. So what that means by definition is that technically I opened my own office. It's taken me a little while to get here. So we started in my living room, like we were talking about. And I was just a field training agent for quite a while. My office was only recognized as an official office about it's been more than that. I keep saying 4 months. It's been like 6 months now after like 3 years in the game, which is a really big deal, which means like we have rights to open up offices in Miami.
So explain that. You started from like your house. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm used to people saying like, I started a studio from my house. I'm not like an insurance office from the house is wild to me. Like, explain how that goes. So like you basically, you work for that insurance company, but you kind of like have your independence in a way and you could just build your own team and just kind of
1099. So you run your own business with our company. You're a captive agent to the company, but you're a 1099 individual. So it's your business that you're running at the end of the day. We work really hard. So typically we don't take anybody on that works remotely because there's a common misconception about working from home. You know, working from home is really difficult. It's not easy to do that, especially with everything that we do and how much knowledge there is to acquire. It's almost impossible to learn everything from home. I had it lucky. So me and a bunch of friends of mine moved to Orlando straight out of high school. And my really good friend Seth, his name is Seth Dorn. I'm a part of Dorn Region now. He got into this company in the Orlando office when it was smaller than the size of my office now. And I watched it blow up. And when I was 19, I was kind of a part of him blowing it up. And he wanted me to get into it back then. But I was dead set on school, and I'm a daddy's girl, and he's old school, and he was dead set on my education too. I got a full ride scholarship to so I moved from Orlando to to finish my education there. And only because I was his friend, they kind of allowed me to work remotely for the company. So
what were you studying in school? Like, where was your mind at the time? Like,
I got a bachelor's, complete opposite.
let me guess, psychology?
Yeah.
That's it. That really...
I got two though.
Okay.
I got a bachelor's in psychology and another one in communication studies on a public advocacy pre-law track. And I was dead set on going to law school, like dead set. I was going to be a mediator for divorces and estates coming from my history. You know, my parents had a really bad divorce, and that's how it impacted me. Like I wanted to help people settle that through mediation, which is a more peaceful way of dealing with a divorce. But I know so many friends who are doing insurance and building good residual income. And I'm obsessed with the concept of residual income, you know, knowing that the work I'm putting in, especially with as hard as I work, it's not just going to pay me this week, but it's going to pay me in the years to come. So it's like, let me take a year or two off. I've been in school like my whole life. Let me travel, which I did. I traveled the whole world, like a lot of places, not the whole world, but a lot of places
Real
by
quick,
myself.
favorite country? By yourself?
Yeah, I did a lot of traveling by myself.
Wow, I contemplate that all the time. If I want to like go to like Europe, like I've done Colombia by myself. I've done a lot of domestically by myself, but I'm like, damn, do I want to do like Europe by myself?
I did Europe by myself. Yeah.
Wow. So a lot of people think like, So you might not be this type, but I'm the type that like, and some people will judge you and some people won't, but like I'm the type I'll go to the movies by myself.
Oh, me too.
I'll eat by myself. It's the most peaceful thing in the world, you know? Like I went to San Fran by myself. So you're that, right? Like you're
Yeah. It's scary, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, like something scary kind of thrills me. You know, like growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
for sure.
So the first time I went, I was freaking out. I wanted to like go back on it. I was calling my dad, like, Daddy, are you sure you can't meet me up, please? And the thing is, I travel for free because my dad was a commercial airlines pilot.
Right.
And I would fund my trips typically through insurance. So like I would just sell on the side, make a bunch of money, like go on a trip. But I didn't have other friends that could also like keep up with that. You know, usually I was flying first class Delta, but for free because of my dad. So if I was like, I either go alone or I don't go at all. So I'd go alone. Italy was my favorite place that I've seen, the Amalfi Coast in Pompeii specifically. Like Rome is awesome. There's so much history there,
Right.
but I think there's nothing cooler historically that I've seen than Pompeii. Like an entire city just buried in ash over 2,000 years ago. It's wild. And like how progressive they were at that day and age, it's insane. It's crazy. You have to go to
But what did you do? I mean, I definitely want to do like a Mediterranean coast vibe. Like that's on my list. What is like you just did like the backpack thing in Europe and like left for like how long and just bounced around?
So I only believe in a carry-on because I'm my dad's daughter. So if I check a bag, he like would smack me across the face. Not really, but like no, we don't do that. We don't check
checking
bags.
bag is whack.
Yeah, so I only carry on. So I just went with a carry-on. What was cool is I went to Ireland and I was supposed to go there for a week. And I have family in Ireland that I had never met and that my dad was disconnected with as well. So my Aunt Mo, this sounds every time I say that, they're like, oh, you're so white. But my Aunt Mo, she emailed a bunch of family members, like 8 different family members to be exact, and said, Brianna Matthiesen, daughter of Brian Matthiesen, son of Patricia Lyons, who used to live in Skahard because they would name their estates back then, is coming to Ireland. She would like to meet you if you're willing to take her, like meet up with her, take her into your home. And you know, people send emails like that, and I just didn't expect anybody to respond, but all 8 family members responded and invited me into their home. So it was supposed to be like a week, 2-week trip, ended up being like a month and a half, almost 2 months.
So you basically pulled up like they're your family, but they're like strangers.
But I felt more acquainted with them than I've felt with family that I've grown up with here my whole life. Like I like realized like this is why I am the way that I am. Like I'm very...
Like you saw yourself in them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Like I'm very nerdy for sure, but like I don't know. They were so I don't know. They're very dirty senses of humor, yet like very like proper and like classy. But like they'll curse, but then they'll apologize for it. Like I don't know. I'm like a walking contradiction. I feel sometimes, but like so were they, and just their culture was just such a good balance of like work and life, and more than anything, they're so educated on everything that's going on everywhere in the world.
Globally, yeah.
So that to me was the wildest thing. Like we barely know about everything that's going on.
We're in our
within the
bubble.
United States.
We're such in a bubble here. Like it's crazy.
It's insane. And they know like just how educated they are about Ireland. They're educated about Turkey. They're educated about everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. And they know more about the United States than I know about the United States, which is sad. Not because I don't want to, but because our media
I mean, what was
so
their perception on the United States? I feel like a lot of people don't like us.
No, but I don't. No, that's the correct perspective, right? That a lot of people don't. But I like that a lot of people don't sometimes because I like to like break that barrier, that opinion. You know, I like to be that American that meets a guy in an Uber and is really nice for a change.
Right.
Because they're just used to people being rude.
Well, I think a lot of people don't like our government more than they don't like the people. You know what I'm saying? Because we just like in everybody's business and shit, you know?
Yeah, but like sometimes like from the conversations that I've had with locals when I've traveled is like, oh, you know, Americans will get into the car and like they don't say hi, and like they're so accustomed to like, hey, how are you? How was your day? Like that's just like a standard. You don't just get into an Uber and like sit on your phone.
Yeah.
Like somebody says like, how are you doing? And you're just like, good, and you think it's rude because they're trying to hit on you.
Yeah.
They don't want to hit on you. They're just it's just well mannered to them.
Wow.
You know, so it's nice to like.
It's like that in Colombia too.
Yeah.
Damn. So let's get back into the story. So you're building the office from the house. And
Okay,
what do you got?
yeah.
Like people like in like
So
in the living room and
I
shit with
took a
laptops?
year because I wanted to build enough residual income to have some money coming in while I was in law school. So my dad was a pilot, and pilots do well. But he never spoiled me. Like if I wanted a watch, I always give this example because this is him to the T, and this is a true story. I wanted a watch once, and my dad took me to Kmart and like bought me like a $7 watch, and I was like, Dad, this is hideous. I'm never gonna wear this. And he was like, What does a watch do? I'm like, a watch tells time. He's like, does that tell time? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay, well, I'm always going to give you what you need. Anything you want, you have to work for. So he'd make me go home, clean the tires, change the tires, clean the house. So I got like into hustling at a young age.
Ooh, so he instilled that. Now it's making sense. Keep going.
So if I was going to go to law school, I didn't want him to fund me while I was in law school. So I was like, let me make enough residual income so I have like 3, 4, 5K coming in every single month while I'm in law school. And in that year, I realized I'm going to make more money doing insurance than I'm ever going to make as a lawyer. And I started to do really well. And then I had a friend, his name was Manny. He wanted to get on board. He did. Then he brought in my friend Nelson, who's like my boy from when I was 14. He still works with me to this day. He brought in a bunch of friends. Before we knew it, my living room was packed. Then I moved into I don't know if I should say my building, but I moved into the building that I'm in right now, and we were flooding my business conference center. So you're not supposed to book.
Damn, you were running an operation out of the
I almost they almost like kicked me out of the building basically because I was abusing the amenities.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to book the rooms for more than 2 to 4 hours at a time. But the front desk people love me because like I'm nice for a change. Like I bring them food. Whatever the case may be. So they're like, Bree, we got your back. So they'd book it from 8 to 8. I'd be in that room with a bunch of people. Before we knew it, I had like people sitting on the floor. So, and before that, or around the same time, me, Nelson, and another boy of ours, his name is Sebastian, he actually opened up his own office too. We were paying for our own office in Doral. And this isn't how the company usually does things.
Right.
So I don't even know how compliant all of this is of me to say.
I mean, did they know you had the company know like you had your like people on the living room floor and shit, like getting to it? Like,
I don't even think they like really like paid attention.
Yeah. They just cared about the results coming in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like usually this company has so much money that like if they're usually going to go to a city, they're like a lot of the times the people above, they'll buy out a whole building and then they'll rent out just like a few floors to us and then rent out the rest of the floors to like other companies and make more profit that way. Like, so it's like very unheard of for like people to be in like a living room or in like a workspace, but just whatever, we were doing our thing. We weren't bothering anybody. And I didn't necessarily mind it because we didn't have to follow corporate rules. Like I got to have my basketball hoop in my office.
Yeah, if you look at Brianna's like IG, like she's in the office, but she's like slinging Yeezys to people. She's having like basketball games and shit, throwing paper balls at each other. Like you were like ahead of your time as far as like killing that corporate ambiance because that shit is like a cancer to like to millennials that want to like really work. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So it's funny because I got ridiculed for a lot of that. Like, hey, like you're having more fun than you're working. I was like, okay, but like look at our results. Our team was like a quarter, if not a sixth or an eighth of the size of a lot of these teams out there, yet we were putting up the same numbers. And then eventually people started calling me like, what are you doing? Like, are you running extra trainings? Like, what are you doing that's making your office produce so much more? I'm like, I swear to God, it's just the culture of like people want to be here. Like we want to be around each other from 8 in the morning until 10 p.m.
Right.
Like, if you're 1099 and I'm not paying you to show up to work, how am I going to encourage you to show up to a place that you don't want to be at?
Right.
It's impossible. The only way that you could get that in most offices is because you're going to pay that person hourly.
Right.
I don't pay anybody hourly. You're 1099. It's your business that you're running. So how can I encourage you to want to run that business? It has to be a place you want to show up to. There has to be breakfast waiting. There has to be a Yeezy that you might win at the end of the week. There has to be a basketball game that we could play for some cash, but you're never going to beat me. Like there has to be like some sort of like challenge or competition and some White Claws in the evening. So we didn't have to follow those corporate rules. So it was cool. And then eventually like a lot of the other offices started following our lead, which is awesome.
That's so important for our generation because like it's hard, like economically times are harder. It's harder than it was for our parents. You know what I'm saying? Like especially in Miami, bro. What is it like the wages, the cost of living is like the most expensive, so people are not there's a shortage of people that want to work. Like that's a known fact. But the reason that is because if you're not gonna pay us give us our freedom to like just let us get the work done, and which is I guess one of the things that from the pandemic birthed like the whole working remote thing. But I'm kind of indifferent that because like now like all the New Yorkers can work from remote and they're just moving down here like working by the pool on their laptop, which is like oversaturating the city, which is whatever. But yeah, so that's dope. Yeah, every time I go on your IG, you're like giving away Yeezys, you're doing basketball competitions and shit. Like how many? And you have where's your office at now? I mean,
The Gables.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I love the Gables because it's like very centrally located for all of our Kendall people and all of our like Brickell, Edgewater people. Because a lot of the people that I've hired are my friends that I grew up in Kendall with.
Wow.
Yeah.
And okay, so what like is it like a traditional like 9 to 5 you got to be here, or you just tell them like get your work done and do what you do, like your freedom, like
9 to 5 you wouldn't really make money, to be honest. Like we work 8 our non-negotiable hours, but we say non-negotiable and it just sounds like a contradiction because you're 1099 at the end of the day. So I tell everybody, I'm not your boss, I'm your partner. Like if you show up, I'm here to show up for you. You give it your all, I'm gonna give you my all. But if you give it nothing, like what can I do about it? You could bring a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink.
Facts.
Like you need to want it as bad as I want it for you. Like I can't want you to make money more than you want to make money.
Right.
But our non-negotiable hours, which just means I'd positively reinforce you with lead money, is from 8 to 12 with a grace period of 8 to 8:30, which is really nice. Most offices don't do that. And then 4 to 8 p.m. minimum. But then we encourage you to you have to do some sort of extra investment with hours between the afternoon and staying past 8. And if you do that and hit your requirements for like calls and stuff like that, I give you $200 a week in lead money, which you can then turn into like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 if you wanted to.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But that's super unorthodox. Like that's not, you don't. First of all, there's probably people listening like, yo, I want to work for her. Like, are you like accepting applications or like you like?
We were just, like I was saying, we were just recognized as an official office a few months ago. And since then we have like over the queue, like the max holds, so I was told, is 200 company resumes, and we hit queue within like a week. I haven't accepted or touched any of those resumes because I think my office is so special because it's only been organic growth. Like we're completely different from every other office because no other office started in somebody's living room. It's such a corporate company, so like that never happens. It's just the way that things played out, right? And I'm very protective of that culture. I think once you kind of go corporate, it becomes more about the money and like the numbers.
It kills culture.
Yeah.
Corporate kills
and
culture.
Mind you, my people make money. Like if anything, my office is known to make more money than like per agent than most of the offices out there. Like I prioritize that. Like if my guys aren't making money, then what the fuck am I doing?
Right.
But I think that we make money because like we deserve money, if that makes sense, because we're good people. Like we do things the right way. Like we always do what's right by the client. We always do what's right by each other. A lot of our business comes from referrals because we actually help so many people out. Like for example, like with you, like
my situation, yeah.
Like even if I can't help you, like you saw, like
like you were attentive and it was genuine. It wasn't like, it wasn't that corporate fake. Like
exactly. So like if you know somebody that like you care about, that you're like, oh, like I actually want to make sure you're taken care of. Like, let me send you to Bree because I know she cares. That's how my whole office is. Like, everybody is special. Everybody is like a human first. Like, we put like morals first. And for that reason, I believe in God. I think that we're positively rewarded. So I have a lot of company resumes waiting, but I'm like prioritizing the organic growth. So that's why I've been marketing Instagram a lot more and just hitting up like my own personal network or my agents' networks, making them repost. And I have an interview wait list right now because we have a limited number of desks and I'm being super picky about who we bring in. It's crazy. We just moved into this penthouse office January 3rd, and we're about to fill it up, and then I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah.
Damn, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so you say you work 14-hour days. Like you're a hustler.
Yeah.
So what do you do for fun though?
Work.
For real?
Yeah.
But nah, you gotta. For real, what do you do for fun? Like, there's got to be something you do outside of work. Because I remember, I feel like I asked you, like, yo, come out to the club. You're like, yo, I'm not a club person. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I respect it. So I'm just trying to figure out what do you do in your free time.
This is my schedule. I work from, usually I go to the gym. I haven't been to the gym since May. Like I've been bad. I was working out at 5 a.m. for years. I haven't since May. I've been like off that rhythm. But usually I wake up at 4:30. I go to the gym at 5.
4:30?
Yeah.
What? I go to sleep at that time.
Yeah. Oh no, I have to be in bed but I barely sleep, to be honest. So lately I haven't been doing this, but either way, when I was working out at 5, had to be done by 6. I got dogs. Got to attend to the dogs. Got to leave my house by 7:30 to be at the office at 8. I don't break throughout the day. I just work straight through. Typically, I stay until like 9 or 10 because I have some like new agents that are hustlers too. We sell in 33 different states and 4 different time zones. So when it's 9 p.m. in Nevada, it can be midnight for us.
Right.
So if I have an agent that wants to take a call at 10, 10:30, 11, like I'm going to be there right next to them, like taking a call with them or like just helping them or supporting them. So I'll stay late with them. I go home. If I'm lucky, asleep by like 11:30, typically not. Wake up and do it all over again. I do that Monday through Friday. Saturdays have just gotten a little bit easier for me now that I've promoted up and I'm like the satellite leader of the office and I've promoted essentially mini-me's, but I hate to say mini-me's because that makes them sound like belittled. These guys are like my equals. They're my partners. Those are my guys. But there are other people that alleviate the responsibility. Before it was like 20 plus agents that were direct to me. Now it's a bunch of agents that are direct to 3 different leaders. So the team was split into 3 and the only direct point of contact that I have is those 3 agents or those 3 leaders while everybody else is now direct to them. So now things have gotten a little bit easier for me, but I still go in on Saturday. In the past, I'd work Saturday like 9 to like 7 or 8, go home, and then I'm tired, and then Sunday, again, I'm out of my routine, but Sunday before I was going to church every single Sunday, and then it was like my laundry and like clean day. Now I got somebody to help me clean every week, so that helps. So I don't have to worry about like my laundry or my cleaning day. But Sundays, if I do anything, I do it on Sunday with my roommate Natalie, who's also my best friend. She's like the only person that like I'm really close to that doesn't work with me.
Right. Damn. Do you worry about like balance? Like, do you worry about like, you want to enjoy life, right? You want to like, you got to find things to do outside of.
I just find so much purpose in what I'm doing, to be honest. Like, and I've already traveled the world. Like, you're not talking to somebody that's like never lived.
Right.
I've done a lot in like my short amount of time.
Right.
I've seen a lot. And I just find so much purpose in the fact that like I'm helping other people find a purpose.
Right.
That it just like it keeps me going.
Wow.
Of course, I worry like about balance one day, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm very in tune with God and like what I should be doing right now. And I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now.
Gotcha.
There's going to come a time where I want to be a mom and I want to have kids. And what's awesome is I'm building so much residual income that like if that time comes, I could retire.
You're setting up the, How, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
27.
27. Okay. Yeah, because this is like a good relevant topic. A lot of people are talking about it. It goes back to that that meme that we talked about. And it's just like, do you think that like being that, you're so work driven and, working 14 hours a day, like, do you think you're compromising other things like in your life? Do you think that you're going to come to a point where like, maybe this is what matters now. Maybe I should focus on this and not so much my job. You know what I mean? Like, is there...
Yeah, I think it's sacrificing now to be able to enjoy that later.
Got you.
Because, like, let me put it this way. And, like, I hate to, like, talk so blatantly about numbers, but in 3 years of doing this full time, I'm only 27 years old. I can walk away right now and I'm still going to make basically $500,000 a year off residual income that I've built up. So I could quit, I could have a baby and I could travel the world.
Right.
And I still have that coming in. My goal is to get that in like the several 7 figures and then, but I say that, but then once I'm there, I'm going to want it to be more and more and more because that's just how I am.
Right.
But I don't know. I think I'm sacrificing now to be able to, because I want to be a mom so bad one day.
Yeah.
Which you might not think with the way that I work, but like I can't wait to have. I always call him Brian Jr. because my dad's Brian. I can't wait to have a little baby, Brian Jr.
Well, I think that I'm on the same page as you, and I think that I'm I'm traditional in a sense where like I'd like a traditional relationship, and would be, because I think I told you, like, you know, as women get older and as they make more money, their selection of men that they could date goes down.
100%.
You know, because you won't, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm assuming you don't want to date down. You know what I'm saying? Let's say,
I don't mind, actually.
oh, really?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Have you had that dynamic before in a relationship, like where you're making, you know, double your man? And
In my last relationship, I'd say he was just as much of a hustler as I am. I'd say we were about even. But I think that we both know is like getting to a place where like I might or may not make more than he was. It didn't really matter to me, and I don't really know if it mattered to him. What mattered to me more so is that we supported each other's hustle. And like my agents and my leaders tell me all the time, like the likelihood of you finding a man that's gonna make as much money as you are, you know, is slim to none unless you date within the company, which I don't want to do.
right,
And I'm okay with that as long as you support me and my hustle.
right.
You know, like I don't really care how much money you make. I think that's
Well, I mean, if you make 200,000 and your man makes 50,000, you're gonna want to help him to eventually make 200,000 like you.
or you can help me with one of my business ventures. Like, let's say, for example, something I'm going to get into, I want to start buying yachts and chartering it. And I don't want to run it. I don't have the time. I also want to buy like a few investment properties and Airbnb it. I don't want to run it. I don't have the time. If you're my man and you want to like be a part of what I'm doing or what I'm earning, be the property manager for the Airbnb, help me run the chartering and just like get the captain, make sure things are clean, like oversee all of it. I'd chip you off on the profit, or we could split the profit and like, you know, it takes money to make money, and we can make money together. Like it doesn't just have to be like my thing or my venture or my hustle. Like you could be in on it too.
Right.
If you're recruiting for me or networking for me or help representing me, you know, you bring in an agent that brings in another 5 or 6 or 7 agents. You just built me a team.
Right.
Like as long as you're supporting me, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually, you know, the consensus is that like women are not going to date down, you know, and then a man who if the scenario is opposite and a man makes 200,000 and his girl makes 50,000, he's not really caring about his girl's money. You know what I'm saying? How much she's making, you know, and it just sucks because as women get older, you know, and you make more money, the eligible men that you could date is drastically cut down because, you know, you're making more money than him. And the men that are, as you get older, the men that you can date, and I'm not speaking for everybody, right? But the consensus is like a man is going to want to date someone younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, I talk to women all the time and I'm in a situation where I'm like, damn, I don't know if I really want, because my life is hectic. It's crazy. It's stressful and there's pressure and I love what I do. You know what I mean? And I make a lot of money, but I think to myself, like, do I want a woman has that same life as me, the hectic life, or do I want a woman who can just be my peace, you know, and she'll be good. And then like her job, like, you know, take care of me and I'll take care of us. You know what I'm saying? So I think about that all the time. Like if, you know, what I should be chasing, but I'm super traditional because like, you know, I watched my mom bring in the money and she was like the hustler and shit, but she was always stressing. And then my dad kind of like, you know, took advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? And didn't really, you know, good dad, but you know, it was my mom was the one hustling and my grandma was the one that's like, you need to be the man is the provider. So like my grandma really instilled like that traditional like spirit in me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like women. I don't like I think pressure is for shoulders, not hips. You know, I don't like seeing women like busting their ass stressed. I don't think that's a woman's natural state. You know what I'm saying? To be I'm gonna sound super old school or traditional, whatever, but you know what I mean? To be like stressing amongst like a bunch of men, and you know, these men, like you said, these men, they you know, they're lusty, they want to smash, and it's just like a man who's with you and has his own typically doesn't want to deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and that's the problem, is that most men don't. Like I know that a lot of men are intimidated by like how much I work or how much money I make, it becomes like an ego thing, you know, which is I'm not even like looking for any of that right now. To me, it's more so about, because I am very like nurturing, and I know that people look at me and they always say, "Oh, Brianna, you're gonna be." Go ahead.
Right. Well, they say, you know, men typically care about things and women typically care about people.
Yeah.
So which is why you see a lot of men, they're engineers, you know, pilots, you know, things like that, and then women are, you know, nurses and but what you do falls into that category. You're nurturing people. You know what I'm saying? So you still get that nurturing spirit, that feminine nurturing spirit off, you know?
So I'm very much so like a woman in that, like, and I was raised traditional. So my mom is Arabic, like Lebanese, like very, very old school traditional. Both my parents are older. So I'm 27, but my dad is 72. I want to say my mom is like 68.
How many siblings do you have?
One. And he's 5 years older than me. So I was raised very, very traditional. I never thought that I'd be in like the position that I'm in or doing what I'm doing, but I think I'm solely in this position given the circumstances and given like our start because I care so much about the people. So to me, it's like, it's not the job, it's not the money, it's not the hustle, it's not any of that. All of that is a bonus.
What you do.
And I love the people that I work with. Like I love them. Asking me to walk away from that, which somebody has before, is asking me, is asking me to walk away from Mari.
Your passion.
Yeah, like well, no, the people. Like there's a girl who works for me. Her name is Mariana. She's all over my Instagram. I always call her my angel. She's literally an angel. Like she started working for me right when COVID hit, and she was in hospitality previously. Like asking me to walk away from my job is asking me to walk away from her when she's just getting started. Asking me to walk away from my job is asking me to walk away from Nelson, who started with me. I've known him since I was 14. We started this in my living room. Asking me to walk away from Jeff, who is literally like my brother. There's nobody that I know that's been through more in life than this guy, Jeffrey. Like he's been through everything. He's from Boston. Like his story is insane.
So you have emotional attachments with the people you work with, which is dope, you know?
And I'm a part of their journey, a small part. Like I'm not everything. Like I'm sure I could walk away and they'll still be fine, but like you can't ask me to walk away from them. Like, and I think anybody who really loves me will like see how much I really love them and just want to love them too, you know?
Do you feel like you carry, like, because of you're a boss and because of the hours you work and you're a hustler in your career, do you feel like you carry like a masculine energy that, like an assertive masculine energy?
And I don't want to. We are actually having this conversation the other day, how like if I've talked to guys, how it almost like seems like I assume like an alpha role. But if you really know me in the office, I'm an alpha for sure. You know, that's my title. But I don't want to be like in my romantic life.
Exactly. So yeah, because there's no such thing as alpha women.
Yeah.
An alpha woman is just an alpha man with female parts. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and you know, I'm curious to know because a lot of women, what they've told me when I've talked to them and you know, they have careers and they end up making more money than their man, that enables the man to do less. And they tend to fall into like a mom role with their man. And, you know, and women don't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They don't want to be mom to their man. Do you think you could flip that energy from masculine to feminine, like at work, back and forth?
Oh, 100% for sure. Yeah. Like, cause I'm a child. Like, if you really know me, like at home, like I'm a child. Like I want to be attended to at home because I attend to so many people at work. You know, like I can 100% separate the two.
There's where the issue is. Yeah. Because a man who you want your man to be a hustler like you, and you know, you want to be attended to, but he wants to be attended to. So you're both are stressed from work and both of y'all want to be attended to.
Do it though. Like I think like that you could be on the same page.
Attend to each other.
Yeah. I've only had 2 relationships. So one was from when I was 15 to 21, but like that started when I was a child.
Right, it was like puppy love.
Yeah. We're awesome to this day. You know, he played his part. And the other one it was like 2 years ago for like 2 or 3 years. And we were both hustlers. And I think that given like a different time or different circumstances, like I think that it could have been like that. Like he did his thing, I did my thing, but we supported each other's thing. And then at home, we just, you know, wanted to attend to one another. And I think like, you know, circumstances happen, life happened, but like it wasn't a conflict of like, egos, you know? It was more.
Yeah, I'm just of the belief that like, you know, I believe in like dynamic opposition, you know, like you need like, I mean, would you agree that in today's, you know, with this generation, the women are becoming more like men and the men are becoming more like women? Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know if it's like I don't know. I don't understand people in people's motive. I don't know if it's more so just like
It is like an economic
self-righteous
thing as well. You know what I'm saying? Because, like you almost need two incomes now. Most people, right? They need two incomes in the household to.
But I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. So like you were talking about how things have gotten so economically like hard before too, but I feel like if if you can think outside the box, it's easier to make money nowadays than ever before.
That's a fact.
It's you just have to be
Well, I'm
willing to
saying the
do
average
whatever it
American
takes.
the household needs two incomes, which is why
Yeah.
both people have to work. So that traditional,
Yeah.
the woman stays at home, the man works is
I think it's also just become like I think we forget how recent so many things have happened, like women's rights, like that it really didn't happen that long ago if you
right,
think about it. I
right.
think that we're going through like a transitioning period, if you will, with like generations as
Hmm.
generations go, where like women are getting fulfilled off of having these rights and
Right,
their independence and like maybe feel like they got something to prove. Feminists are
right.
like more strong with their opinions now than ever before.
I just feel like that's gonna affect like the feminine. That's gonna bite them in the ass when because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of. I mean, and this is a fact. Like we're trending in that direction, but there's gonna be a lot of lonely 40-year-old
Oh,
women with no
100%.
kids that did everything society told them to do, focus on their career, and then they're gonna have like late 30s, 40. Like, damn, like I'm not happy. I have all this money. I have all the material I ever wanted, but like,
God, and that
I,
hits home because I do worry about that sometimes,
but
like a
then it's
little
like.
bit.
Yeah, like, and
Feel like
I
you're
try to
sitting
tell my
at the
sister
sink
the
and you
same
need
thing
to
because
sit
my
up.
I'm the same way. My sister is a hustler too, and I have to have these conversations with her because she makes a lot of money. She's a dope makeup artist and she makes a lot of money, and I have to explain that. She's like, so what do you want me to do? Not work? Like, nah, no, I could never tell you to do that because you do what you love, but don't think like be open to meeting men. Like, don't think that you could save that for later. You know what I'm saying? Because I think women think that their beauty because I think we tell women like just be comfortable in your like everything however you feel amazing like but the facts are that like women think their beauty and their value is going to be like evergreen, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
so
I
I
know
think
it's not.
right, so I think that I try to tell women like hustle, do what you do, but like be open to meeting people, you know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
like women are guarded now, that they think, I mean a lot of men are weirdos, but like you know what I mean, like just be open to it because your mind state might change in 10 years and you can't really do anything about it anymore because
Yeah.
you're 40, you know what I'm saying? And the men that you want to date, they're going to want to date, the girl in her late 20s, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not caring about how much money she makes,
Yeah.
So,
I hope that doesn't happen to me. I do
right.
think about that sometimes. I hope that's not the case. I just kind of have faith that like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do right now and that when the time is right.
I think, like how you diversify your stocks, how you diversify everything, you need to have like identity diversification as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I know friends that like they're obsessed with DJing. All they care about is DJing. Me, I'm a DJ, but I also like to go
You
to
do other
I like
things.
to go to the gym. So when the
Mhm.
like something like a pandemic hits, like and I can't DJ anymore, you didn't take my whole self away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like I have eggs in other baskets that I could anchor into. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing is like
You do you think I have
because
all my eggs in one basket?
no, I'm not assuming anything.
Okay,
Like,
no, I was this is
yeah. I don't.
genuine question, genuine
No.
question.
I mean, if you work 14 hours a day and you say you don't do anything for fun, I
Then
mean,
I
that
kind of
would be a
do.
good assumption. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I'm saying like, and for me, I've always had like, for my career, I'm able to work 5 nights a week and make a lot of money, or I can decide to work 2 nights a week, pay my bills, but make the minimal. But I'll have nights for other things. You know what I'm saying? So my whole career, I've always been afraid to go all out and work 5, 6, 7 nights a week, even though I've done it before, but I've never gone all the way in with it because I wanted to have time to build relationships and friends with people. And I'm going through
Balance.
this right now where it seems like the more I work and the more money I get, the lonelier I become.
Yeah.
And then if I want to fall back from work, I can do that. And then I could put time and not be as lonely, put stock into relationships and things of that nature. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So
I think everything is about balance,
right.
but it's also about like finding fulfillment. For example, this is really cool. Like, like you're reaching people through your podcast. Like, be it like that 100 people hate this conversation that we're having, maybe one or two get something from it and you've had some sort of impact. I think life is about like impact and purpose. And if you know me, everybody, like the common like joke about Brianna is like, if I say like, oh, this restaurant is so good or that person is so awesome, like, oh, Brianna, you love everybody, like you love everything, and it's
You're
true.
agreeable. You're
Yeah,
agreeable.
well,
Yeah.
I have a lot of love to give, like, and I really do, like, for the most part, like
Right.
if I meet a human, like, and I think that you're awesome, like I would do anything for you. Like I'm a person that you could call.
So have you ever had to fire anybody?
God.
You see, I could tell you're like the thought of that, like just like
Kind of, yeah. The only time I've ever like really let somebody go is because they did somebody else really dirty. So it's not even so much me. Like I'm not very protective of myself. I'm very protective of the people around me. It's like when I won't fight back for me, I'll fight back for somebody else.
right.
But like I love 100%,
Right.
but I don't think life is about love. I really don't. And I
Right.
think that everybody thinks that life is about love. But if that's true, then you'd probably be born with somebody or like die
Right.
with somebody. You know, we are born alone. We do die alone.
Right.
As grim as it sounds, it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I think that life is about purpose. Right. So you find what your purpose is, be it whatever it may be. And I think that your purpose can change throughout your life.
For
you know,
sure.
like when you're a kid, maybe your purpose was to just be the class clown. But then maybe later on, your purpose is to be somebody who's serious, that speaks on serious subjects. I think your purpose can change. And I think that you need to find a love that helps you fulfill your purpose. So you find somebody, and I help you fulfill yours, and vice versa. You know, and if no matter, you can love a love and it can help you fulfill purpose for the time being, but then there may come a time where that love starts to interfere with your purpose. And if that's the case, I feel like you gotta let it go.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like if I die tomorrow, like, but I've been hooked on a guy for the last 3 years and my whole world has been him, I'd
Right.
be like kind of upset in my
Purposeful.
last few moments that like I didn't spend the last 3 years having like a domino effect. And that's
Right.
all I care about is I know how small I am. And the more you travel, I think the more you realize how small you and your problems are. In reality, I'm
Right.
like insignificant to this world. But if I could have a little domino effect on other people that could continue a domino effect onto other people, no one will know who started the domino effect.
Right.
But I know that like I had some sort of positive impact.
Right.
And that's what I care about. Like if I were to die tomorrow, I just want to know that I accomplished some sort of like positivity,
Right.
you know, not just that I was infatuated with like spending 24 hours a day with a man.
Right. Well, I think your purpose is to nurture.
Yeah.
Right. Whether that's your career, whether that's, a family one day. I think here I go sounding like the old school man again, but I think that's all woman's purpose is to nurture.
I am very nurturing, and I would love to nurture a man and a family someday, as well as nurture. Like I just don't want it to stop right there.
Right. Right.
You know, like I have a lot of nurturing to give.
Right. Right. Well, like, yeah, you're on pace to like being like, a millionaire, and you built your company from the ground up. So you've nurtured that, you know what I'm saying? And there's no way you could walk away. It's just the dynamics of society make things complicated. You know what I mean? Like
But
people
it's
are having
also
less
here.
kids.
It's not like that in other places, which is why I'd love to live in Ireland or
Really?
somewhere else someday. Yeah.
Yeah, but then the women is it more traditional, you're saying, like in Ireland?
I'd say they're more traditional, but they're also more open-minded. That's what I love so much about Ireland. Ireland is like, like Irish Catholicism, right? But Ireland was the first country to legalize gay marriage. Like they are so traditional yet so not judgmental. Yeah, like I don't know. I just they're different. I would love to move somewhere where what's beautiful about life is what's prioritized.
Right.
Is everywhere you go in America, outside of America, when they speak on Americans, they say the same thing. They're like, you Americans, you're stupid.
Right.
You spend all week working really hard, 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be, and like I just kept my mouth shut about 8 to 10
to get her,
like, 9 to 5 whatever.
Yeah.
You get home and you're tired, you like barely have time to like eat with like and actually be present in the moment of having like a meal with whoever it may be.
Right.
You go to sleep, you do it all over again just to get to the weekend and be exhausted.
Buy a bigger TV. Like we're consumers here, you know what I'm saying? Like to get a better car, the bigger house, not knowing that like family and relationships and those type of things are what's gonna like fuel you. You know what I'm saying?
And in other countries, that's what they prioritize.
Right.
And like I'm a hypocrite because like I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Like let me prioritize.
We're like in the trap because we're the same. We're we're in the trap.
It's like a simulation. Like we're just like stuck. Like
like when we lived in Colombia, it's like day work, to spend time with their family, to just be able to survive and spend time with their family. Yeah, and then some, I don't know, like, and that's the difference between, politics aside, like that's the difference between liberals and conservatives, that liberals tend to want things to change and to evolve, and conservatives tend to want things to stay the same. And there's times when we need things to evolve and change, and then there's times when we need things to like stay the same. Wait, we need to hold on to this. This is a tradition. This is good for society. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't just be, well, that's when people say I'm a liberal, I'm a conservative. It's impossible to be a conservative in all regards or a liberal in all regards. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a mix of everything. Like some things we need to evolve and change, and some things like, you know.
But
so
that's what I hate about every great debate, is that you have to be able to see the other side. You know?
nuance is nuance. Yeah.
But a lot of people are not like that these days.
Yeah. Yeah, the divide is crazy. And so you're saying you think relationships, are you saying, like when you say not here, like not Miami specifically the city, or just the country? You're saying, like, do you think relationships are hard in Miami? I mean, you're not really out like that, you know, you're not really, so you wouldn't really know, like.
No, I wouldn't really know. And everybody that, if I ever give somebody a chance, it's like somebody that I've known for a while, or somebody that's been like chasing me for a while. Like my last boyfriend had a crush on me since high school, and I never paid him mind. And he literally booked an appointment to buy insurance from me to like get me to talk to him.
Why? That's some dope shit.
No, yeah, it was pretty awesome. I was like, okay, support me in my business. You see, that's how it started.
Right.
And then I was very nurturing in return, supported him. But I'm not really out like that. I'd say Miami is difficult, but I don't want to say it's just Miami. I would say it's the American culture, in my opinion. Like nothing against.
Were you ever out like that? Like, cause you grew up in Miami, right? You grew up in Kendall, so like.
Oh, I have my phases. You know, if anything, I'd say lately is like me going out on Sundays, or like once like a day of the weekend, like just one time of the week. That's a big deal for me, and I've been doing that for like my best friend since I was like young. Moved into my apartment, and like I've been trying to get this girl to live with me forever. So like we've been having fun together, and it's like nothing crazy, but this has been like a phase for me that I know I'm about to get over. And then when I get over it, I just my free time is like in my bed, and I enjoy that.
How does a guy even like take you on a date? Like what is like the ideal date for you? Like how would he approach you?
I like fun. Like
you're busy. Are you one of those girls that's like, yeah, you know, February 17th, we can link up. Like,
if I commit to something and I want to make time for something, I'll do it. But I'm not a big like, let's meet at a bar, or like go get dinner kind of person. I'm like, let's go to Game Time.
Go where?
To Game Time or GameWorks or Dave and Buster's. Like, let's play air hockey. Like that's me and like my element. Like just like being a child, like because I'm such like an adult sometimes, you know.
Right.
And even then, I'm talking shit because in the office, like I'm playing.
Yeah, you're playing basketball like, and like throwing Yeezys to people and shit. Yeah.
But I wanna. I don't know. So I guess that's where I find balance, is like when I can just like have fun and like live a little. Like I'm dying to go to the extreme action park. It's like anybody.
I don't know any of these things. Put me on. First of all, what's Game Time? What's extreme action?
You know what Game Time is?
No,
God.
My mind is so warped from Miami nightlife. All I know is clubs and alcohol and shit. Like I need to like.
Do you know air hockey? Obviously.
Yeah,
okay. Game Time has the best air hockey tables ever.
Hold on, you're putting me on right now, but
when that puck hits like the side, it like the way that it dings, it like sounds like it's like.
This is really your shit. I can see you're like passionate about it.
I love.
What is this, like arcade?
Yeah. So it used to be what was it called before? GameWorks.
Oh yeah.
And now it's Game Time. I guess it got bought.
What's the new shit you just said?
Changed. Extreme Action Park. So Extreme Action Park is a place I haven't been. I'm dying to go. So whoever invites me to Extreme Action Park, I'll do that.
Fellas, you just got to take her like to play skee ball or some shit, and you're good to go. No fancy dinner, none of that shit.
No. And you got to challenge me because like I'm pretty good at these games. I'm not
that masculine energy is gonna come out, and you're gonna start talking shit. Damn.
No, but I just love, because that was me and my dad, I guess, growing up. You know, like my dad just like, no, look at this finger. You see how crooked this middle finger is?
Yeah. What is that?
I broke this finger playing basketball with my dad. He was my basketball coach.
Oh shit.
And like, mind you, like I was always like a girly girl. Like I wanted to paint my nails or like dance, but
Mm-hmm.
like my dad wanted me to do what he wanted me to do, and I loved my dad, so like I
Mm-hmm.
was willing to do it. And also I liked playing basketball, but more than anything, I just liked making him proud and like having a reason to bond with him because he was gone like 5-6 days a week as a commercial airlines pilot. So
Mm-hmm.
my dad was home. I wanted to do anything and everything with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd play basketball. I broke my finger one day in practice, and I was laughing, like dying laughing, because that's what he taught me to do. He taught me not
Right.
to like cry about those things.
Right.
So I'll cry about like a movie or like a story that you tell me, or like I'm emotional when it comes to like a commercial or like a homeless person or like a dog. But like when it comes to my life, like I'm pretty tough about it because like that's how he taught me to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I got smacked in the face with a basketball. Like the coach knew I didn't want to be there, so he was like, "Yo, breathe, think fast," and he threw it at me, and like I went to block it, and it broke my finger. And I knew immediately I broke it because I had jammed my finger so many times before.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, "Oh, this is broken." And it was this. Imagine how crooked it was back then. This is like 12 years ago, and it was purple, immediately swollen. And I was like, "Okay, I gotta go to the hospital." And he's like, "No, you're gonna finish the game." I was like, "It's broken."
Damn, so your dad raised you to be like, it makes sense now. Like, yo.
I was like, "What do you mean finish the game?" He was like, "Finish the game." I was like, "Okay." So they throw me the basketball, and I'm like catching it and like shooting it. Like I'm making it a joke. Like this is a joke to
You
me.
got your
like,
finger
are you
like hanging
kidding me?
off the
Yeah.
shit.
And he's mad, and I'm like, "So you get after?" I'm like, "Okay, so are you done? Are you gonna take me to the hospital now?" He was like, "No." He takes me home. He gets Scotch tape, and he tapes these 3 fingers together,
wow.
and he says, "It'll straighten out." I'm like, "Okay."
That's a G. Yeah, that's good.
He is. That's how he was raised.
Yeah.
It's like a week, 2 weeks later, I take it off. It's still super crooked. It's purple. I'm like,
That's how men need to raise boys now. I feel like men are not raising boys. You got to raise your sons to be like hard. Like, you know, like that masculinity is like dying right now.
Yeah.
I said the other day, I'm like, I don't trust any man. I don't take advice from any man who can't do 20 push-ups. I'm over it. For real, no, that's just how I feel. That's how I feel, bro. Because I just know this is mad estrogen coming from you, and your testosterone levels are low. And
no, men are so emotional.
they're like women now, bro.
They really are.
They're like women.
And that's my point. Is I'm really not masculine at all. Like if you know me, I'm not at all. And if you think that I am more masculine than you, I think that's a you problem.
Right. I just think we got to stop.
Problem.
In our society, everything is about, and this is more from like the left political sphere, but everything is about feelings and like, how do you feel? You know, how do you feel right now? You know, instead of interfacing with reality, we teach everyone to interface with our feelings. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that it's not going to help you get ahead in life because you're just like, you know, if you feel sad today, like
I think people get so fixated on that you're right, they're out of touch with reality. So like, okay, no matter how much this hurt you, like
you woke up depressed today. I feel you. That sucks. You know what I'm saying? But whether I wake up depressed or not, I still have to
do about it.
At the end of the day, as a man, and you know, this could be both, but as a man, be a man of duty. Get your shit done. Like, you know, do what you have to do and get it done. Oh, you woke up sad today? Get it done. You woke up happy today? Get it done. And emotions are always changing. So why are you going to lean into an emotion when you know this shit is going to change in 20 minutes or 30 minutes? Yeah, that's what I have to tell my mom. These are the talks I have with my mom. Like, you know, like, why bug out and become the emotion when it's just going to change? It's energy, emotion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but which is why sometimes I come off too hard and militant and when I speak to people, because I have to compensate because everything is so emotional and coddling and like that. You know what I mean? Like,
but I think that you shouldn't compensate. I think that you should be who you are. And I think that everybody is entitled to feel or think whatever it is that they feel or think, right? Mm-hmm. And I think going back to what we were talking about before, maybe your purpose falls in line with your mentality.
Right.
You surround yourself with people that agree with your mentality. I think it's more about fixating on people that are going to value what I value, you know, rather than changing who I am.
I think, like, you know, for example, you know, just an example, like you tell someone, you know, let's like society today, we're telling people, yo, it's okay to be obese. As long as you feel good about yourself. I can't get with that. You know what I mean? Like my blood boils that we're lying to people, telling them, bro, do you know what diabetes is? Do you know what heart disease is? Do you know, like,
I haven't worked out since May, and I'm like super beating myself up about it. No, but I get what you're saying, because I agree.
Balance.
Yeah, for sure. To be honest and like not to like go too deep, like I went through something in May that like kind of threw me off my routine. So that's when I stopped going to church every Sunday. That's when I stopped going to the gym in the morning, and I just fixated well, actually I think I'm not going to say I fixated on work because I think that was not I know that was the first time I ever took a break from work too. But since then, I feel like work is like what got me through that, like feeling like I have a purpose, like I have to
To
keep
your purpose.
going.
Okay, because some people use it as medication. Instead of healing, they use, whether it's work, whether it's travel, whether it's drugs, whether it's
Yeah.
alcohol, they use it to medicate and ignore.
No, I'm very much in tune with like what happened and like healing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm very big on healing. I have a bachelor's in psychology.
Right.
I'm big into that. And more than anything, even though I haven't been going to church as much, I'm big into God. I'm big into praying. I'm big into like making sure that I'm
Spirituality.
okay. Yeah.
Right.
But I got to keep it moving. Like I have people that are showing up to work that depend on me. I got a job I got to do. I got a life I got to live. Like I can't just stop living my life because of whatever traumatic thing that may
Yeah.
or may not have happened. So now it's like also like getting back into I think I've also been aware that like I'm a little bit extra tired, and that may be some like underlying like depression that I'm like somewhat out of touch with. I think that's also why I've been like going out a little bit more, but I'm very in tune with what I need. And
What?
in this
Yeah.
moment, I know that I needed to like socialize, to have fun, to like be a little different. Maybe not, because usually I'm so like straight edge with my routine. I wake up at 4:30, I go to the gym, like I'm all about being super fit, about like doing this or doing that. And lately I still get my job done, but like if I want to have fun on the weekend, if
Right.
I want to like skip a Saturday to like go out on a boat,
Right.
like I make sure things are taken care of, but I'll do that
Right.
when before I wouldn't.
Right.
So it's been, to me, the last few months have been balance, and then now I feel myself getting back into the routine. I hit up my trainer actually this past weekend and said we gotta get started again.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, like if you're like, going through some mental health issue, whether it's anxiety, depression, we've all been there. I tell people all the time, like you cannot get out of your mind by using your mind. You have to get out of your mind by using your body. You have to exercise, you have to move and get out in the sun, get out in nature. That's the only thing that's gonna,
Yeah,
put your mind at ease again.
agree.
People think that they can like talk to themselves to get out of depression or anxiety, or read to get out of no, you have to use your body. That's the only thing that's going to calm your mind. You can't calm your mind with your mind.
That's scientifically proven.
Right.
Yeah, so I agree. To me, also living on the water, like I find peace in the water. I find God in the water. I just, even though I'm barely in my apartment, my view is like nothing but ocean. So like you could
Yeah.
be like naked on the balcony.
yeah, yeah.
Nobody can see you. Like it's just like complete like
Vibe.
ocean. So just waking up to like 5 minutes, like in the morning when like the sun rises, like waking up to that and going to sleep to that and just like staring out into that and waking up staring into that. Like
Is the shit.
that's all the like rejuvenation I need to like get going. And before, when I was going to the gym, I'd come back from the gym and I'd walk my dogs along like the little boardwalk behind my building, and I'd sit on the little ledge and I'd watch the sunrise, because I say like right when the sun is rising, like that's something about like your third eye. I'm not into all of that, but I was just like, cool, if watching the
Run
sun
it. Let's
is
see what
gonna-
happens. Yo, like
if it's gonna rejuvenate me, they're like,
Yeah.
it's better than a cup of coffee. I was like, I'll give it a try. Like if I
I
go
don't believe
blind,
that.
I go blind.
Yo, I'm obsessed with coffee. Yo, I need
Me
I need
too,
a
me
fucking
too. And
Starbucks
matcha.
guy
Do
issue.
you
How many
like
how many
matcha?
cups you drink a day?
We got a colada machine. I said that so white. We got a colada machine in my kitchen, and they make it like a good 4 or 5 times a day. And every time they bring one to me, they bring me a double shot. I could drink a whole cup straight of colada by myself right before bed and fall asleep. That's
What?
like how
Oh, I
high
can't
my
do that.
tolerance is.
Yeah, I need coffee to like start my day. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Shit. So what is I mean, what's your biggest turnoff then if you're talking to a guy?
That feminine energy, for sure. I was actually just having that conversation recently. To me, like also being like very easily intimidated. I think like having like that strong masculinity would mean that like you're not intimidated by like my confidence or by what I do. I don't really have like one specific turn off. I just think like be who you are and be confident with who you are.
Be
And
able to
like
do 20 push-ups, basically.
yeah. And be able to have a conversation. I guess that's a turn off to me, is lack of intelligence or like lack of conversation skills or communication skills. Like I can't do that.
Yeah.
You have to be able to have like a a conversation of substance with me, like know how to like word yourself and like have intelligence.
Articulate.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. You tell me what you think about this. A guy is dating two girls, right? Maria and Brenda.
Okay.
He told Maria that there's Brenda,
Okay.
but told Brenda that she's the only one. Who does he love more?
Maria.
Okay. So you'd rather know an uncomfortable truth than a comforting lie.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
100. You respect me more.
But some would say like he respects Brenda more because he's protecting her from hurt, from, you know.
I guess so.
In some cultures, I forget which ones, but some cultures, the concept of deception doesn't apply if you're lying to protect the person.
In my opinion, you're not loyal in both situations.
That's what I say. You don't love either of them.
Yeah, but in one situation, you at least respect them enough to be honest. Like, neither one is ideal. I don't think either one is love, but like, you're not loyal in either one. But I'd rather be the person you respect enough to be honest to than the person you don't think can handle it or whatever the case may be.
Okay, I'm going to bring up some more. Let's do a little 2-minute drill. Let's see. I'm going to just ask you quick rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And red wine or white wine?
White.
Would you rather have the video game boyfriend or the club boyfriend?
Oh, God. The club boyfriend.
Oh, damn, it sounds like you had the video game Call of Duty boyfriend before.
To me, like, I don't know, that's a turn off, I think. Like, at least, like, in too much, you know? Like, I think that when you're doing it, like, socially to, like, chat with your friends or whatever the case may be. But I know guys that, like my boys, like, that they just, for, like, 12, 13 hours a day, they stay up all night, like, just playing video games. It was more so at UM, like, a lot of the athletes.
I thank God every day that God made me trash at video games. Like, I'm so bad at video games, I don't even play. Like, yo, if I play, I do it for the reason of, like, social. Like, they don't even know, but you guys are my therapy right now. Like, I just want to talk shit. I'm dying. I'm terrible. I'm killing the team. But, bro, like, you don't understand. You're like, you're cool. Keeping me. Tequila or Henny?
Tequila.
Shower or bath?
See, baths are addicting to me, so like I try to avoid them because like it's like once I take one bath one night, I'm like, wow, that's really relaxing. I take a bath like every single night for like 2-3 weeks straight, and I notice I'm like losing an hour and a half of time like in the bath late at night when I don't.
Damn,
have,
an hour-long bath? That's
wild.
God,
from, like boiling hot water. Like I will cook.
You women are crazy. You guys like bathe with lava. This shit is wild.
So showers lately, just.
I'm on my jacuzzi. You got a jacuzzi in your building?
Yeah, down. I've never. That's not true.
That's my favorite amenity.
Once I never use my amenities.
I need that shit in my life. Ashanti or Aaliyah?
Aaliyah.
What's your playlist look like in the office? What do you guys bumping in there, man?
Soul.
Huh?
Do you know who Rufus Du Sol is?
Nah.
No. Here, can I play him?
Yeah.
I play this all
So your office
day.
sounds like Ultra, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, people ain't on pills and shit, right? Like, you don't got everyone rolling face, like doing insurance calls and shit.
It's not he, it's them. They are so cool because when they perform, they play live. It's like they'll play the drums live, the guitar live, he'll sing live. They do like the whole set live.
That's fire.
And his voice is like pretty good too. But it's like great like background music. So it's either like Rufus Du Sol and the Rufus Du Sol station that'll come up on Spotify, even though I brought up Apple Music right now, or Bad Bunny.
Or Bad Bunny.
There's like no in between.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
What's your playlist look like?
Like my recreational playlist, or like when I have to DJ?
No, like yours, recreational.
R&B.
Okay.
Some
like
R&B head, like both. Yeah, R&B's in a good spot right now, but in the 90s R&B's and.
I put on a lot of 90s R&B too.
Yeah.
Like the throwbacks. That's everybody gets riled up.
The thing is with me is that like I work amongst chaos, like literal chaos, that like when I'm not working, I have to anchor into peace. Like I need massages once a week. I need the jacuzzi. Like I need like, bro, right downstairs.
Really?
Yeah, it was like God answered my prayers. Like it's right downstairs. And
do you like painful massages or do you like?
I'm like sometimes painful. Damn, you like. Sometimes I like deep tissue and sometimes I like regular. But
like imagine that's why like my posture is so bad. I sit at a desk like this for like 14
You got to get the
hours
office
a
on the
day.
stand-up desk vibes.
Oh, we do. We just
You got the
in our penthouse office. So our new leadership that we have is actually my friend that brought me into the company. So I wasn't under him before. Now he's my hierarchy, which is awesome. Like I get to work with my best friend. And the moment he got us this penthouse and he got us a bunch of stand-up desks. So everybody has a stand-up desk now, which is awesome. So we're on that stand-up desk tip now. But like I got knots on knots on knots in my back. So like if I get a massage, even though it hurts, like I gotta get like a deep tissue, like painful
because
massage.
we're like this, it's more important to like when you're in the gym, you got to do more pool stuff.
Yeah.
And less pool. And right here, like pec, like right here is where you got to get massage. It's more important than the back because it's tight up. You're like, because you're like this, so you have to like, you know what I'm saying?
And they always work on all of that, and it's like, oh god, it
Bro,
relieves
I would
me so
pay. I would pay for my girl to go to massage school, literally.
Yeah.
If I had a girl, I'd be like, yo, I'm paying for you to go to massage school because like, whatever.
No, I get it.
Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Iced coffee.
You're giving me like innocent vibes. I don't want to ask you crazy questions. Short nails or long nails?
I just think natural nails. Like these are my natural nails.
If a guy pays
shorter.
If a guy pays for the nails, he gets to pick the color, right? Damn, that masculine energy. Okay, I thought you were gonna like, hell no, I'll pick my shit.
No, I don't really care. Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you know, like with my man, like I'm more than willing to be feminine.
Appetizer or dessert?
Oh, that depends. I think it depends on the restaurant, you know?
What's your favorite restaurant right now?
Stiltsville. It's
What is
like
that?
a little mom and pop. It's a restaurant. It's a fish bar. So Stiltsville Fish Bar. It's on Purdy Ave, right next to where Purdy Lounge used to be. Actually went kayaking once, and then coming back from kayaking, I was like, oh my god, I'm so hungry.
Wow.
And then I look at this place called Stiltsville. I was like, let's give it a try. Like it's right in front of the water. Like the fish must be pretty good. Ended up being like some of the best fish I've ever had in my life.
You cook, or you get your boyfriends to cook for you?
Really good at cooking, but I don't have time.
Yeah.
And I do like to like be like feminine and nurturing in that way. So like whenever I've had a man,
Right, if it
like
makes sense.
I'll order food or if anything, just like, okay, I need to feed him, but I don't have time to cook. So like, let me just order or pick something up.
I eat out every day. It's such a bad habit.
Yeah, same.
It's like literally like it's terrible. Introvert or extrovert?
I think I'm both.
Yeah. I don't even know what's going on right now with this bass, but whatever. Love or money?
Love.
Both.
I don't know.
Would you rather have the ballin' boyfriend who cheats or the loyal boyfriend who makes $60K?
A loyal boyfriend that makes $60K.
Okay.
For sure.
Fashion or music?
Music.
Beamer or Benz?
Beamer.
Condo or house?
If it's a house on the water, a house. If it's
You're set on the water, like living.
Yeah.
I think I am too.
Yeah, so it's either condo or house on the water, whichever.
Like by the ocean, be clear, not a canal.
Yeah.
Sweet or spicy?
Spicy.
Skiing in Aspen or parasailing in Puerto Rico?
Skiing in Aspen.
I've never done the winter vibe.
No, my family's from Seattle.
Really?
Yeah, my dad's family, they're all in Seattle. So pretty. That's why I got a North Face.
Oh, you lit. Doing the winter vacation is wild by yourself, right? You can't do that one by yourself.
No, I would never.
Yeah. Because I want to do that shit, but I have no one to go with. So I'm like, do I go like skiing by myself and shit? Like I don't know.
You don't have anyone to go skiing with?
The thing is that I would have to go during the week because I don't want to miss a weekend. You know, it's too much money I'd be missing. So my schedule's the opposite of everybody. That's been my issue my whole life, you know?
Yeah.
I tried the girlfriend that had the 9 to 5 opposite of me. I tried the girlfriend that was in the nightlife like me both. And it was pros and cons to each. But would you rather do laundry or dishes?
Laundry.
Order in or eat out?
Order in.
Smart boyfriend or funny boyfriend?
Ooh, that's hard. Is the funny boyfriend like an idiot?
I mean, some would say some would say to be smart is to be intelligent. I mean, to be funny is to be intelligent.
I agree.
Yeah.
So like if you're smart, you have some level of intelligence. So like
Right, unless you're just like a clown. Like,
or funny, you have
yeah.
I would choose that. Like rather than like a stickler, like intellectual that like has no sense of humor at all. Funny for sure.
Series or movie?
I love movies.
What are you watching right now?
Ozark.
A lot of people. I never could get into it. A lot of people are on it.
It's kind of slow this season. I don't think a lot of people.
The first season was slow to me. That's why I could never get into it.
Yeah, yeah. What's your favorite show? This is a test question.
I barely watch TV.
Favorite show of all time.
Issue. Of all time.
Of all time.
A show.
Mm-hmm. There's one right.
This is my thing. I don't really like watching TV unless it has something to do with like selling drugs. So like I'm gonna say Narcos. Like
really?
all my movies are like my favorite movies are like Scarface, Blow, fucking like,
I like war movies.
Paid in Full.
True story war movies. I got that from my dad.
Yeah.
But best show of all time, Game of Thrones.
See, that's another one I need to get into. That's not on Netflix, right? I can't.
No, it's on HBO. I went to Winterfell in Northern Ireland.
Yeah. Really? I mean, I don't know. That's where it took place?
Yeah. So like the Stark family is from Winterfell in Belfast. And I went to Belfast and
can you do like
archery? And I hit the bullseye.
Can you do like an Irish accent?
No, I could do an English accent though. I do it all the time, actually, in my office. I think it's pretty bad, but I annoy everybody.
No, it's pretty solid.
Irish accent's hard.
Curly hair or straight hair?
For me,
I guess for both, on a man and on.
I mean, if a man's hair is long enough to like be straight or curly, I'd say curly because it'd be weird just to have like really long straight hair.
I didn't think it through that bit. I was like,
for me, my hair's short right now, so like curly while I'm growing it.
You always keep it that length, like short length?
No, I just chopped it all off.
I'm assuming, bro, this is the thing. As much as people be like, yo, you remind me of Eminem, I'm sure people remind you like you're Brittany Murphy, but they say you look like Brittany Murphy.
I get a lot of things, a lot of just like white blonde people and
that's what people say to me, like Eminem, like bro, Eminem, like alright, bro.
Yeah.
Good one.
When that thing I referenced that happened in May happened, like I just felt like I needed a new identity and I just chopped off all my hair. But I've had long hair like for a really long time. I was like down here.
Damn, like that?
Yeah. I didn't even think about it. I was just like, I'm not going to regret it because there's like a meaning behind this. It's like a new chapter for me.
Are you going to let it grow or no?
Yeah. I'm in the process of letting it grow, which is why I feel like I have to curl it during that like middle stage.
Marriage with no kids or kids with no marriage?
Kids with no marriage. I just want kids.
A lot of women, a lot of you independent women are on that. Like, yo, if I don't find a guy, I'll just raise kids by myself. I've heard women say that shit before.
I have like really bad baby fever, but I'm very traditional and like I gotta have a boyfriend. Yeah. We have to like live together, make sure like we're compatible in every aspect. Because like having a boyfriend and living with a boyfriend are two very different things.
Then I've never lived with somebody.
Oh, I've lived with somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. What was bad about it? Just like
I don't think anything was bad about it.
I feel like as long as you're both compatible. Like neat, like as long as no one's messy, like dirty, then you know.
The biggest thing was how much I work in my dogs, and like dogs can be messy. And back then I didn't make as much as I make now to be able to like afford. Like up until my best friend just moved in, my dogs I sent them to a daycare from 8 a.m. until I got out of work, so they were taken care of all day. Back then I couldn't do that. And now I have like a cleaning lady come too. Baxter and Bailey. They're so special.
How old are they?
He's 10 and she just turned 8.
Wow.
So I've had them through everything. Yeah. That's my family.
Those are your kids. You're a dog mom. You have dog mom in your bio?
No.
No.
But I think if you know me, you know.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about marriage right now? Like, it seems like it's just
I want to get married for sure.
You do?
Yeah. I'm traditional, like still. Me like too. I want to get married.
It's just bad. It's a bad deal for men.
Why?
Because everything favors women in marriage. If it doesn't go right, really.
Yeah, because I witnessed a very bad divorce. My parents' divorce lasted 8 years. Ooh. It was bad. It was all about me because my brother was older. He was over 18 and money. Which I think is also why I like always like wanted to work so hard to have my own, because like I don't ever want to fight about it. And mind you, I make a lot of money, but like ask me how much I save. I guess that's like the good and bad thing about residual income is no matter how much I spend this month, I know what I have coming in next month, guaranteed. So like I will give all my money away. Like somebody needs help with something, somebody needs to borrow this, somebody like doesn't have a pair of shoes, somebody needs a suit, like I'll spend. I'm not greedy with it at all. I never want to fight about it. I think that we should both just sign a prenup, and if there is ever a split, like we're not fighting about money. Like we're gonna leave amicably. Like I'm on very good terms with both of my ex-boyfriends. I don't like being on bad terms with anybody. Like I don't want to go through that war. Just if we decide to go our separate ways, we do so peacefully. I will always be fair. I hope I would never marry somebody that I don't believe would do the same, you know?
Right.
Especially if there's a kid at stake. Like that's huge.
Yeah, I just don't see marriage like happen. Like, do you prefer the public proposal or the private proposal?
Private, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't care about like a bunch of strangers.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Bree, thank you for pulling up. Super dope conversation. There it is, Miami on the Rocks. Bow.